All right, power to the people, y'all.
Power to
Greetings,
the people.
greetings.
Yo, yo.
All right, welcome to Black Power Radio. This is another episode, open forum today. We are so grateful that you're joining us here, Monday, December 16th. And today we're going to be covering some testimonies. We've been talking about some issues with homeless shelters abusing women last week and today and yesterday. We have advocate ambassador Rabitha Moses, fabulous lady that has been advocating for the women. And so we're grateful. We're going to hear a little bit about their testimony coming in. We do need to hear some couple insert, and we do have some other things as well. So this is your friendly neighborhood policy analyst, Dr. Truth Bay, in the His House. And I got my fabulous co-host, my sister from another mister, Queen General Janae and Zinger.
Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to Black Power Radio, your most informative radio news TV on the internet. We are live in Washington, D.C. Thank you so much for coming and spending the evening with us. We are here every Sunday and Monday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you'd like to be a guest on Black Power Radio, just hit up myself, Janae Cook or Janae Earl, Queen Nzinga, or Sister Dr. Truth Bay. Either one of us can become our guest on Black Power Radio. So what do we have tonight? We have our lovely Sister Moses back in the business. Come on, Sister Moses. Yeah.
Mother
Hello,
Moses, she is.
hello.
Let's
How are
get
you
us
lovely
free.
ladies doing?
Let's get us free, sister. We trying to free our people. Let's go.
That's
Absolutely,
right, that's
absolutely.
right.
And I
There's
couldn't do
some
it without
music
you all.
overpowering everything.
Right on. So we are so grateful that you brought this case to us a couple of weeks ago, and it's heartbreaking just to hear some of the trauma that our people are still going through, family. This is absolutely unacceptable on any way, shape, or fashion. Now, one of the statistics that I want to share, we are overrepresented in two agencies. One of them primarily is the prison system. The prison system, they want to make sure through the Constitution that we are still considered enslaved um, when we, they say, commit a crime. They like to draft felonious charges on persons of African descent. So this is actually standard operating procedure for this absolute racist America, as our national chairman would say. And the
As in
other
Black Power.
agency, Black Power, right on. And the other agency in which we're overrepresented is the housing sector. So affordable housing, where the redlining, Jim Crow, it all started from the time of 1856, when we decided to want to get paid and for the work that we're doing. And how dare us become property and want to live a life, raise our children, build a nice community. As we've seen in Tulsa, Oklahoma, we have wealth. And when we are trying to build in our neighborhoods and become prosperous, that's absolutely a no-no in this decadent society. So we have a 10-point platform as a Black Panther Party for Self-Defense, have well informed since 1966, or way before that. We're talking about the 74th Battalion. But in 1966, officially launched with our ancestors, Huey P. Newton, Bobby Seale. We're tired of seeing our people abused and getting less than. But again, it's power to the people. It's a new day, new dawn, family. We got 2.5 weeks before this traumatizing year ends, and we're looking forward to accountability moving forward. And so I'm going to release the mic back to our co-host, Queen Janae Nzinga, to introduce our guest. And again, welcome to Black Power Radio.
Black Power. Black Power. You there, Queen Janae?
Black Power,
Black
National
Power.
Chairman. Welcome.
National
Shaking my
Chairman's in the
mother.
house. What we have, Queen today is we're here at the national headquarters of New Black Panther Party for self-defense. We have two very special individuals with us tonight, and I wanted y'all to know that. I want you to go forward with your program, but I wanted y'all to know we have Brother Ajabu is a long time Black Panther organizer, even was focused before the Honorable Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad and helped to liaison the entire history of the Panthers. We have a very, very unique opportunity tonight. We have our new chair of DC. We got Brother OC's big brother Chris is in here. They're just gonna say a couple of things to y'all to let you know that you're in the right place at the right time. We have the most informative radio talk show on the internet, on your Facebook, no look, Twitter, glitter, Instagram, with no goddamn ham. But I'm telling you straight up, we give you more of what you listen to this radio for. And I will let Brother Ajabu say something, and Brother OC, Brother Chris is the DC chairman, and he put on a great event this weekend. But he teamed up with Sister Janae, and she teamed up with Black Egypt, and they teamed up with Brother Pete, myself, Brother Imam, and others, including Al Malik Farrakhan and others, the ceasefire on smoke, brothers and sisters. But this is what I'm saying: be dynamic in whatever you do, but by all means, keep it black and keep it revolutionary. And we'll turn that mic over to our brother Ajabu, Indianapolis, but he's strong all over the world. Black power. Black power. Salam
Black
alaikum.
Power.
Black Power.
The film on? You want the film on?
No, I just want to say thank you for allowing me to say a couple of words to the audience. And I guess without being prepared, I would say that we as a people have to be concerned with the tools that are being used to oppress us. One of the tools that's being used to oppress us every Sunday is religion. And when you're talking about religion, we got to we got to understand that religion is about mind control. And if we understand that the mind control that they're using is to make us suffer peacefully. One of the tenets of the Christian church is for us to think that Jesus is coming again. And when Jesus comes again, that he will is assassination,
Mm.
that he will come back before some of them experience death. Well, if Jesus wasn't lying, all the people that was listening to him at that time is dead. He was telling them that before he was assassinated by the Romans. The Romans, a few days after that, killed him. He supposedly came back in 3 days. If he came back in 3 days, then the people that was listening to him, that he was telling them that they were not going to experience death before he came back, that quite possibly there were some still living. Now, the church is telling you that he's coming again. Well, if Jesus was telling the people that was listening to him that some of them would not experience death before he came back, he ain't coming back now because all them people dead. So if the church is teaching, which they are, that he's coming back again, they're lying. And they're complicit in mind control, to whereas that the revolution that Jesus was supposed to be implementing, that when he came back and righting all the wrongs of the world, he got us waiting on an event that's not going to happen. So we're suffering peacefully, and we need to quit. Jesus is not coming back again. If there's going to be a liberation and a correction of the things that's going on, it's on us.
Black Power.
I leave that to you.
Thank you, Brother Ajabu, and power to the people in Black Power. This is our brother, local chairman, Washington, D.C., Brother O.C. Black Power.
Black Power, family.
With your film on? Just trying to hit the red button.
Back to the people.
Well, I'm sum up what the brother was saying. Basically, we all we got, and we all we need. No one's coming to save us, so that's why we coming together. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do what we must do to save ourselves, and it's gonna start with meeting the needs of our people and moving forward together. Black Power.
Black Power. Black Power. And we
Black
thank our
power.
beloved
Is
brother.
there any other kind?
And that's right, the only way I know to go. But we're happy here in Washington, D.C., and we're doing a lot of strategizing and helping, and we're growing. Recruitment efforts are up, and we're going off the chain in every direction, and all you have to do is hold the goddamn line. As I say, Black Power, a strong black military, the black to call, and please continue to support Black Power Radio and keep it strong, focused, and committed. Sister Janae and Sister Dr. Quicker Race Truth Bay is the best we got. You see them on the front line fighting for you and a voice for the voiceless, and then fighting for you in areas that you're not able to fight for yourself. We thank you, and assalamu alaikum and Black Power. Black Power, Black
Black
Power,
power.
Black
Black Power,
power.
Black Power.
Now this is a new world, y'all. Um, I just came on, and I thought I heard a quite familiar voice, and it's been made clear. One of my old comrades from Indianapolis, that brother
Let it
Jabu.
go. Let it hit the mic. You hit
New world.
that. Got New World and the
Jabu, what up
Jabu.
with you, baby?
What's up,
Indianapolis in the half. Indianapolis
I
in the half.
I
We're gonna
I
go half
I,
together.
I ain't felt your spirit in quite a while. So happy to see you back on the scene.
Neutral,
I told you,
neutral,
come
neutral.
tell come telling me some foolishness about a job who retired. I said revolutionaries can't retire. What the hell y'all
No,
talking about?
no. Exactly. How you
Happy
been,
to see.
man?
Hey, I'm fantastic because I'm talking to you with your bad backside.
Likewise, likewise, likewise.
Happy to see you on the front line again. In the words of Frankie Beverly, I see you back in stride again.
Yeah, yeah. Old Frankie got out of here. You understand what I'm saying? But he left us a message.
But like you said about Jesus, he ain't coming, but we still here, aren't we?
And we better get busy.
That's all I'm saying. Never should have slowed down. Folk want to tell me some more food about God bless you. I say God has never stopped blessing us. I just
That's
wish
right.
we'd act like it more often. Now I'm
I
talking
concur.
crazy, huh? That's all I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying. God put you
Mm-hmm.
here to do this work. Do the work.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be asking God for nothing. He woke you up. Get it on.
Mm-hmm. Was they get busy?
That's it. Take it all back, make it all black, just like that. I wrote the song.
Yeah, I hear you.
I'm serious.
Well,
Take it
yeah,
all
yeah,
back, make
yeah.
it
You
all
keep it
black. We
going. But
gonna
good to
make it,
hear
women,
from you,
take it
man. Good to
all
hear from
back.
you.
Now,
I'm good
now,
to be around to be
people,
heard from, soldier.
what you doing? We're standing on the
Standing on
verge
the
of making it
verge of
black,
taking it
making
back
it
and
black,
painting it
making it
black,
black.
just
Excuse
like
me,
that.
we have a show to put on. Excuse me.
Black Power,
So
Yes,
you
go
got
ahead
to
and do
be.
what you got to do, General
We,
Janae.
look,
I'll
Black
just
Power,
black
you so
reunite with
rude
some
to
old
interrupt you,
friends.
but Black Power,
I
black
want to
Black
power.
Power.
apologize, but I ain't sorry. I'm happy to see my old friends.
Okay, black power. We got
Go
a
ahead,
red
General
house.
Janae.
Yes.
I land my plane. Handle your show.
All right.
We
Thank
got your
you
back.
so much. All right, we got to go forward with the show now. Sister Rabita, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, we still got where did she go? One of your guests dropped off. Nicole is trying to get in, but she need to connect her mic into the
Okay.
screen. Okay, so just give us Dr. Truth Bay, you there? You able to conduct the meeting?
Yes, I'm here.
Hello.
I'm here. Black Power, Black
Okay.
Power. I was
Okay.
trying
Black
to chime
Power.
in earlier. Um,
Okay.
there's some people that introduced themselves. Just want to make sure that they are
Mm-hmm.
standing by, so they can know about, participate in our Million Youth Rally that we're having September 5th and 6th in Washington, D.C. Right there before that, we have our Sankofa International Conference happening in April. So we definitely need to see tangible resources for our young people. And this is what it's all about. So I appreciate guests that are coming on the show. But right now, we want to keep a main focus on the accountability issues of the shelters, and then also we will highlight the brothers, our young juveniles, our young black women and men that's behind the wall. Give a voice to them as well. So tonight I'm actually heading downtown. That's why you hear a lot of commotion in the background, family. But we had a screening of Put Down the Guns by Terry Carney. We're going to have him on an upcoming show on Black Power Radio. This is a very, very important and inspirational documentary. It shows you the history of guns, violence. It's narrated by Ice-T. This was a movie that was 4 years in the making, and it really highlights the communities, families that were affected through gun violence in South Central. And so we are planning to do a tour nationwide for every city and every community activist in that area to make their own documentary or their own version of Put Down the Guns. And so we'll talk more about it later on during the show. So again, thank you for joining us on Black Power Radio. We're here every Sunday and Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, and we are so grateful to have you here listening. So please like and share. Shout out to Busy One Entertainment, Busy One Radio, and where you can hear us live. And Black Business Matters, Queen Janae. And so we're gonna release the mic back to our co-host and listening to our guests, Retha Moses and others from Interfaith Works. Black Power.
Black Power.
Black Power. All right. So, Sister
Black
Ravita,
power.
welcome once again, my queen. So, we want you to refresh our memories on the protest we partook in last Wednesday at the
Absolutely.
Interfaith. What's the name of it? Interfaith.
Yeah, it's so we're protesting Interfaith Works shelter
Mhm.
in Montgomery County, Maryland, and we want to stop the ongoing abuse of our black women in these shelters. And yeah, so I think the protest was great. I know Queen Nzinga, you came out to support brother Imam Akbar. Queen Initial, she's also online now. I see her. Sister Diana, we had a good amount of people, and moving forward, we just got out of a meeting, and some of you all were in the meeting discussing next steps, what that will look like, and we have another protest this Wednesday. I know we have other work to do in the meantime between today and Wednesday, and continuing work that we have to get done. And once again, this is staff that has been retaliating against the women at the shelter. They have been, food deprivation, bullying, intimidation, putting women out in the cold, pregnant women being put out because just for being 1 minute late. I mean, the police is called there every day, almost every day. Our black women are being oppressed at the shelters, and these are some of our most vulnerable population. They if they speak up for themselves, if they advocate for themselves, they get retaliated against almost immediately by shelter staff. I just A couple of days ago, I spoke with a woman that's at the shelter that came outside to protest with us. She was given a disciplinary letter because she came outside and had false accusations against her simply because she came outside to protest with us, and they threatened to also transfer her. And Supriya Pandit, she is an Indian woman that is the program director at Interfaith Works in Crabs Branch. She has been extremely hostile, and unfortunately, she's been condoning her staff to be aggressive, hostile, humiliate some of our most vulnerable population in Montgomery County, Maryland. So I encourage people to come out on Wednesday at 16911 Crabs Branch Way in Durwood, Maryland. 16911 Crabs, Crabbs Branch Way, and that's Wood, Maryland.
Right on. So, Miss Babitha, so for those who may not know, actually, I want to call you Mother Moses. That's more appropriate. Can you tell for those who may not know the history on how you came upon this case? Give us a backstory on when you first learned about this abuse from the women from Interfaith.
Absolutely, yes. And Nicole, I know she's trying to join, but she's having some difficulties getting in. I met Nicole back in May, and she was wheelchair chair bound at the time. And when I would talk to her on the phone, I remember there was an incident where, while I was on the phone with her, the phone was snatched out of her hand, and I could hear them just snatch the phone and hang up. The shelter staff. Nicole and I lost contact with one another, but God made a way where Nicole and I got reconnected by way of an organization that I work with. It's a housing organization. And I met her again, and Miss Diana was actually supporting some of the women from the shelter. She would, take them out and do things for them and give them rides. So what Miss Diana told me was, hey, this is what's going on at the shelter. Like, I went to drop Nicole off. They called the police on me, and they did this whole scene. And the police, in fact, told Miss Diana that she was the one being harassed because Miss Diana was just advocating, and she was on public property as well. Moving forward, when I got involved in it, my encounter was with Supriya Pandit. And I know Diana wanted to get me involved, possibly, because that woman was Indian, so she thought maybe me being Indian, I could, I don't know, talk some sense into her, but we're not the same. Absolutely not the same. I mean, this woman has, you know, she has been very, very brutal to the women at these shelters. We've tried to advocate for the women, get their grievances, but we've been met with retaliation. The police has been called on myself and Ms. Diana so many times. The women, slowly but surely they started coming out and just started sharing what they were going through, and then they're still going through it. It's horrible what's going on. Food deprivation. Women's food being snatched out of their hand. They don't serve lunch. Like, that's their policy somehow. Um, when there was pizza donated for Thanksgiving, or Indigenous People Day, the women never saw the pizza. Staff took it home. Hundreds and thousands of dollars worth of gift cards that are donated. The women don't see them. Where is the stuff going? Where is the money going? Women being kept there for 1 year, almost, 2 years at a time. And they're already coming in with trauma. And the staff is inflicting more trauma on these women. our black women need to be protected by any means necessary. And it just, the retaliation has been brutal, not only against the clients but also against myself, where they try to create. So I have written statements from clients that Supriya Pandit has been coercing the women at the shelter to make false statements against me, and she in turn has threatened a transfer and or make them lose their beds. You have to realize these women are so afraid. It's freezing. These are freezing temperatures. They put women out. They call the police on them all the time, tell them they're trespassing. And I've encouraged the women, if you have been there 30 days or more, you are by law a resident. So the police cannot be putting you out. You got to stand your ground. I cannot be there all the time. And now they've trespassed me, so they made it more difficult. I don't know how they did it. They said verbally, and the police was like pressing me out. But it's become more complicated for me. But I'm definitely, I will continue to advocate for our vulnerable black women. We have disabled women, elderly women, and just, women dealing with mental health issues, and their conditions are all being exasperated. These women are not being given their vouchers, their housing vouchers. Why? Because the longer they keep them, I'm assuming, the more money they get. These women are always being told there's no food. We have clients that have witnessed staff loading their vehicles up with, food and supplies. I mean, it is, and I know Nicole is here, and she can probably talk more. She's now moved out of of the shelter after being in there for 20 months. They didn't even get her a winter coat. Miss Diana had to get her and a few other women winter coats. Our county executive, Mark Elridge, is well aware of this. Our county council is well aware of this. This is not something that should be like surprising. I don't know. I don't. Maybe this is the first time somebody's ever spoken about it. But I mean, I don't imagine like somebody's being treated, with respect and dignity in a shelter, because that's what people always say. That's the last place you want to be, and that's part of the reason why. The I remember Nicole when she went to her mother's remains, ashes were disturbed by the shelter staff. Nicole, when she went back there to get her stuff after she moved out, she was made to stand outside in the cold. There are two white women there that are also clients, mother and daughter. They were outside with their dog, and the shelter was worried about the dog coming inside rather than Nicole coming in there and being warm. So they're treating our black women worse than animals, worse than animals. And our county has always turned blind eye. And this goes back to I advocate also for Moses Cemetery. This is all connected. Anything that's related to Black African descendants, the county dismisses it. They will try to do everything to cover it up. And it's so heartbreaking because right in front of our eyes, at Moses Cemetery on River Road in Bethesda, Maryland, you know, there has been a desecration, a genocide. Girls 10 years old and younger who were kept there for breeding purposes died in labor. Young black boys were abused sexually. People were trafficked from the Africas. They were forced to be there. They were forced to become slaves. It's so many atrocities going on against black people in our community in Montgomery County. There is also Lincoln Park. It's a black community in Rockville, Maryland. They are being forced out, pushed out. They don't want these black communities to exist. They don't want to see black people thrive. I mean, we have drones as first responders in Montgomery County, Maryland. So it's only a matter of time those drones get armed. It's only a matter of time. So we have to stand up. We have to take a stand. And you know, I just wish and I hope and I pray that these women at the shelters get the housing that they need and deserve and more than that. And if it's okay with you all, I would like, initial to share a few words because, she's an amazing activist and she's very, very, spirited and she has a lot of information. And Nicole is, I think she's trying to get in. I see it's loading, but if it's okay with you guys, that if initial can share a few words.
Yeah. Is that Inshallah? That's your name?
Yes,
Okay. Well, here I see it lyrically.
yes. That's
All
just out of
equal
how we
human.
love. Yes, yes. Hi, Black Power to everyone. Everything
Black
Rashida
power.
touched on is correct. Um,
Robita.
Robita, I'm sorry, we have a
We
Rashida
butcher.
also in the shelter that is experiencing a lot of different hardships. And so Robita reached out to us, of course, to attend the rally. I attended the rally. I normally attend the rallies within the commission. Um, and I can say serving as a commissioner under Montgomery County was the worst experience of my life, even though I was selected as a public representative under the Interagency Homeless Commission under the CLC, which is the Continuum of Care. Um, I live here. I came here from Southeast Washington, D.C., from Congress Heights. And of course, I would have been gentrified out. In some senses, happy because I'm alive. We know the conditions in Southeast are can be hard. And when I entered in Montgomery County, my focus really was that I was in community because, of course, I was around people that looked like me. But I was immediately retaliated against, meaning I was not able to get any service for at least 7 years. Just because, and then I figured it out. I said, okay, let me try a voter's registration card to see if I could get some help. Finally, that worked. There, I went on to really start looking at the services under HOC, which is through HUD. And so as a nonprofit, we're a nonprofit. Our nonprofit is called Essential Now. We know that these issues are real because those are the issues that residents call us about. So I'm not in shock when Nicole tells her story or Robita tells her story, because these are the stories that we tell the CLC. We then formed a committee. And during that time of forming that committee, I just had so many constraints that they tried to produce. Of course, I would voice my opinions so loud that I was able to get the kiosk boxes in the machine in the rooms of the shelters to make sure that residents can get their complaints filed. Today, moving forward, all of the things that the individuals at the shelter are going through are supposed to be overseen by various groups, and those things aren't happening. Today we spoke to one of the directors, an assistant director, who said, could you all just stop? And I was just like, that's not going to happen, because these individuals are going through these serious issues that everything is in place for them to address them, and they are not. So I want to give the floor to Nicole, who is here, and I thank you all, and Black Power.
Black power.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Black Power. I'm sorry. Can you hear me, family? I'm going in and out. I'm in a busy location. But I'm grateful again. Thank you for sharing that, Ms. Anshala. The things that you have mentioned, I wanted to highlight as well the continuum of care and what that is exactly. So, family, if you know that every agency always has to have a supervising factor, And the continuum of care, also known as the COC, are the ones that are responsible from a federal level. It comes from HUD, as I just mentioned, and it focuses 100% on housing, low-income housing, homelessness, so anything that has to do with a shelter or anything like that, it will come from the continuum of care in your town. And every state is different. Since I'm based here in California, we have about 44 continuum of cares. We have 58 counties in California, but only 44 of them, based on the size, the amount of the homeless population, that some towns, some cities, some counties don't even have a continuum of care agency. They usually just give the resources straight out from either their local jurisdiction. But it's very important, family, to always go to the source of the funders. And if we are not aware, because a lot of people blame the homeless crisis on the local mayor, which, in part that can be some validity to it. But overall, it's not really even the mayor that's responsible for the COC. The continuum of care agencies are so powerful. They are an independent agency. So the local politicians that are supposed to be responsible for overseeing them or even creating them, they still have their own autonomy because federal funding goes straight to the COC. It doesn't usually go to the county or the city. So they can always misappropriate funds. They can always abuse their clients. And if we don't have oversight or reports or, even exposure to this condition, they will continue to operate. What's up? Can you mute your mic, family? Thank you. As we continue, the continuum of care, again, is something that everybody, all of our Black people should be aware of. If we are not addressing the continuum of care, we got a lot of our family members. Many of them are going through homelessness, and we're always trying to put a Band-Aid on it. You understand? And if they are due homes, all of us, as one of the 10-point platforms, we, as Panthers, we always say that housing, we always want decent housing, decent shelter, fit for humans. This is something that we don't take lightly. But if we who built this country are not aware of the names of our oppressors, the taxes that we pay, because a lot of us still work for the man, got 9-to-5 jobs, some of 2 or 3 of them, we still have to be accountable for where our taxes are going, because our children and our children's children do not deserve to have crumbs or handouts just because the oppressor wants to continue his power. So knowledge is power, family, and we got to each one teach one. So share this broadcast, start studying about the continuum of care, what that really is, and start teaching others that in order for us who is overrepresented in the homeless crisis, again, that we need to go to the source of the problem. So with that being said, I'll yield the mic. Black Power.
Black Power, Dr. Truth Bay.
This is Brother New World. Family, I'm glad you all are bringing this to the light, because I've been dealing with this for quite a few years myself, and noticed that what you all are mentioning has been going on all along. And I guess the severity is because it's like a bad habit that they have established, and they've been doing it for so long, they're not prepared to stop. But as I've always said, bullies don't stop, they must be stopped. So we must continue to document these crimes against our humanity. If you can get pictures of it with your camera, do that. Document it, dates, times, names, locations, and any other information you can get, and make sure it is documented. We must create a paper trail so that these things can be, first of all, reported and then dealt with severely, because these are actual crimes against humanity that these people, oh boy, that's a tough one. These people have been getting away with for far too long without complicit for the crimes that they are consistently committing. I've seen it years before. I told a cat, I said, I'm a veteran. He told me, I don't give a F. And this is the reality about what's going on. So we must
That's right.
pay attention to it and help protect these women who are being retaliated against for simply speaking truth. But as I've always said, truth can get you killed in America. That's their greatest fear, your mind and the truth. So stay on it.
Right on. I mean, truth tellers is one thing, the action behind it is another. So we have on the stage, I believe, Queen Mother Melody that joined us on the stage, and she wants to open her mic and address our beautiful Black people. Welcome to Black Power Radio.
All power to the people. I was just wondering, have we any information on these drones that are flying over Washington D.C.?
Yes, I can drop the link. They celebrated 1 year today in Montgomery County, Maryland. It's the first responders. I'll get the link and put it in the chat.
So what are they doing about it? I mean, this is first responders. What in reference to?
Yeah, so if someone called 911, the drones are the first responders. And the county executive has lowered the requirements for somebody to become a police officer. So it's heavy policing and lack of housing. And Montgomery County, Maryland is the second wealthiest county in Maryland and one of the 10 wealthiest counties in the United States. And we
That's
have
crazy.
so many homeless, a large homeless population, unfortunately, because they worried about the wrong things.
No, they are getting millions of dollars for supposedly taking care of the homeless. Obama made that available when he came into office, and these parasites are now uh, pillaging and pilfering the money for themselves under the guise of helping veterans and homeless. That's why I said they need to be indicted as well as prosecuted for these crimes against humanity. But we have to create the system because America is a criminal system, so you can't get justice out of a system never set up criminally. I dropped.
All right. Well, points of action. And again, this is a very important conversation. So if you have a story, if you have someone that's been going through, what, what?
Chief Elder John Henry's trying to join, but it's saying studio full.
All right. Well, with that being said, family, I'm going to step down for a moment because I'm going to head back to our listening party. We actually have a after party for Put Down the Guns, a world epidemic film, and I bid you adieu. So keep it black, keep it positive, and continue to share your stories. Power to the people.
All power
Power
to
to
the
the
people.
Power
people.
to the
Thank you so
people.
much.
And
That's
all power to the people.
all
Black
right.
power. And a black
All
Black
power
military,
to
power.
the
black
And
people.
I did want to
for
That's
black
say,
it.
power.
Brother
Black
New
power.
World, you mentioned something really important about the crimes against humanity that's going on, and that brings me back to the desecration of Moses Cemetery in Bethesda, which is in a affluent community, but it was actually a black community, and they were pushed out of there, and human remains were dug up by developers. HOC sold the plot to developers who have desecrated the human remains. Our prosecutor John initial. Do you remember John McCarthy? Our county executive Mark Elridge, our
Mhm.
county council, the planning
Mhm.
board. They have
Mhm.
all actively participated in the desecration of Moses Cemetery. Human remains have been trafficked across state
Mhm.
lines to Virginia. And these are just some of the many, many violations and crimes against humanity, federal crimes, you name it, that are going on in Montgomery County, Maryland.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
we have
we
been
have
joined
third
by
generation people. We have people. I'm sorry, this is inshallah. I think this is so important to say. As we do our outreach for the last 20, I've been here in Montgomery County for 20 years, coming from out of Southeast Washington, D.C. And as we did our outreach with women, we found out that their ancestors owned some form of land. And when we look back at where your family now, they make sure that those individuals seemingly are the ones in the homeless system somehow. And if we look at where their men somehow are all either incarcerated, but they actually own land in Montgomery County. And the homeless system, the system in itself is just it's abusive because what is in place is not in place. I feel that we have actually identified, and I don't know if Rabita really understands this. A lot of the individuals that look like they are in supportive roles, those are the individuals. They are the pools of individuals who are utilizing funds or just, they're able to. So I just want to say that I think it's important that we understand that the individuals who are in the homeless shelter have they actually don't have that education that you need to come out of there because they're actually really dependent on case management, who I've heard so many horrible things about. And so they will never get out of there because they are utilized as bodies. They receive funds for them. They put them in one shelter, then now their name is at that shelter. They could be getting funds in multiple shelters for these individuals. And so we try to help them self-advocate and understand your goal is to get out of there. Because the other day when we went to the rally, although I had women call me who are in the shelter and say, oh my goodness, thank you so much, I don't believe this, you also had people who just weren't willing to come out. Now I do want to be clear that county people over top of them, they did call me today and they said, oh, can you just tell them to stop? And I said no, because it is those individuals who basically they claim, individuals are saying, oh, we're fine. And so they said they're going to, staff will not be able to, they're going to pick a day where they claim they're going to go in and sit down with these individuals. And so I just want to say, Rabita, please keep going, but also because when we're organizing and doing these things, I feel like the important thing is to make sure you're doing what you're still doing, getting the people services. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Absolutely. Our main goal is to get, our women out of these shelters and get them rehoused. Nobody should be keeping them for extended periods just to receive, money. And I do know about they're actually living descendants. And I keep going back and forth because I feel like somehow these things are interconnected. They are still living descendants of Moses Cemetery. Brother Harvey, he's 82 years old or 83. His father was almost beaten to death by the KKK because they were trying to get his land, and he was kidnapped by them. He still refused to give up his land, but they stole the land and also beat Brother Harvey as a kid when he was a child. Now the property, the land that was stolen, is a Whole Foods that sits on that land. And I mean, these are like horror stories. We had a genealogist, Jocelyn Clark, and she actually traced back a family, and their ancestors were buried there as well, at Moses Cemetery on River Road in Bethesda. And when we told her that it had been desecrated and the desecration is ongoing, And I mean, she broke out in tears. It was a very emotional moment. She did not know how to break it to the family, but these are the kind of, you know, cruel people. The white man must be dismantled. Our county government must be dismantled. I keep telling people, you're all voting for the same kind of people expecting a different result.
Hmm.
We need to get people in office from the most underserved communities. Dismantle HOC, Housing Opportunities Commission. No more planning board, or we put our people in the planning board, not these people using us as a stepping stool for their careers. Some of these organizations I've had to call out. I had to call out Progressive Maryland. And if you're listening, I'm going to call you out again because you have hired, and Progressive Maryland is owned by a black man. You know, they're white people working in our spaces, taking our pain, using our backs to climb the political ladder. You have white women from, I don't know, Minnesota, Arkansas, Iowa, you know, and they come in here. They don't know about our pain. They don't know about our struggles. We are the marginalized community. Just because you have a degree in something does not mean you understand the struggle. And they're here running the show. Max Sokol, they need to fire him. He is a white man. What does he know about the struggles about the black community, you know, the marginalized community? Nothing. So Montgomery County, Maryland, they need to change. They use the word progressive so much, but it's used as a guise, you know, to
Change
cover up
progressive to
the deep
parasite.
rooted racism. Absolutely, absolutely. But that's all
Okay.
I wanted to say. Thank
All
you.
right. Well, thank you so much for that, Sister Rabita, and sharing your story. We do have Chief Elder Minister on the line. Welcome, Chief Elder. Hello.
Hello, how you doing?
All right. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. You got Inshaleh and Rabita here. What role are you active in the shelter in Montgomery?
Well, first let me introduce myself. I'm not only the chief elder minister um, of the New Gullah Geechee African Village of Georgetown, South Carolina, and I'm also the president and founder of Save Our Youth and Family Annual March. Um, we just now relocating to Ohio, so we still got boxes to unpack and things to set up. So, one of your guests, and please forgive me, I forget her name. She
I
just
mean,
sent,
Rabita Moses.
yes, Moses. She just sent me the link to chime in to hear and witness the testimonies of what's going on in your city and state. And so I want to see how my organization can be of some great assistance to many organizations that we are creating a umbrella with our nonprofit organization that we will connect every one of these organizations together, whether you're 501c3 or whatever, to render support and financial support as well. We are under major reconstruction and trying to get some more board members on board because I transitioned in period from one state to another state and some of the laws doesn't apply, but we had to renew our status with the Secretary of State. Let me also state this. I don't know how much time I have, but I try to be as brief as possible. Um, we must form an alliance and that alliance will continuously be on the front line for our liberation as a great people. And I say many other broadcasters that one of the reasons why I've been chosen as Chief Elder Minister over 10 years ago is because I don't bite my tongue. And I don't believe in going to this United States government asking them for anything because history and time has already proven itself over 60 years. Why should I come in at the age of 64 and reinvent the wheel that's already there? It just need polishing up and to let this system know that we don't need you. We going after our own finances and our own resources, dealing with West Africa, which I am a chief elder out there of 600 people in my tribe. And you talk about conditions. My tribe, half of the tribe, doesn't even have a mattress to sleep on. They don't have shelters. There is a couple churches that's in United States that is doing as much as they can. With I'm on the broadcast, baby, and is doing the best that they can with their donations that they getting from their congregation. Um, so I just want to be able to introduce myself, and you can get my contact number from Mosley at any time. I'm available 24/7 because I'm fully retired after working 27 years. I started working when I was 14 years old, and I finally retired about 8 years ago. So this is how I keep myself going and keep myself active by being involved in our community statewide. Now, in my conclusion, upon the Save Our Youth and Family Annual March, we created back in June the 13th, 2013, an economic development plan. That plan is constructed and made specifically for the state of South Carolina, targeting our people specifically. And yes, I ran for State House Representative in Columbia, South Carolina, came in second place. And one of the senators down there that is, I don't like using that word, black, because black is the color of a crayon. We are melanated people. We are children of the sun. And yes, we come from the earth. But yet, I was talking with a senator in South Carolina, Columbia, South Carolina, who I helped him run several times on his campaign for reestablishment as senator. And I took this agenda to him and showed him 35-page document that my team had created. And don't you know, he had the nerves and the audacity to tell me that they not going to allow me to bring it in front of Congress. And see, I deal with our ancestors. I already knew what he was going to say. I just wanted to hear and witness the words come out of his mouth because that is his conviction, for not being able to stand up and help his people that voted him into office. So, yes, I don't rely on the system. I'm not going to do that going in 2025. and I will not bow down. I will not bend. If they want to offer assistance without any strings attached, then I will accept it. But I'm nobody's Uncle Tom. I ain't nobody's
I
go
know
getter
that's right.
and run around
I
because
say,
my
I say,
ancestors did enough sacrificing for all of us.
I say.
I
Stand on
say,
that.
I
And,
say,
Yes, sir.
and
I say.
let me
My, my, my.
enlighten you as well. My great uncle, his name is Gilbert Henry, out of Clarendon County, South Carolina. Him and the AME Church of 9 other members. They are the one that started the Board of Education, Brown versus Wade, integration into the schools. That's my great uncle. And I see where I get my momentum from, my strength and my ability to stand on my square and speak and stand up for the truth of our people here in North America and around the world. I am connected with our great motherland, Africa, and the Congos in Nigeria and in Ghana and several other places. And I have my passport and soon to visit and go on a worldwide tour, every city and every state, soon as we can get the right backing and support from our people to finally stand up and be accountable. It's no more time to be sitting by whining and complaining. It's action time. Marcus Garvey said it best. A man without a mission is a man without a cause. And without a cause, you don't need to be living because
That's it.
history has proven itself
I say.
time and time again that we are some of the greatest forgiveness people that would ever walk this planet of this earth. I say.
I share. Thank you again, brother Minister Elder, for coming live on Black Power Radio tonight. Just so happy to see you. Want to team up with you and build some of the things you. We're building some of the same things. We're building on the women. Are you in South Carolina tonight or somewhere else?
No, I am in Columbus, Ohio right now.
Good, but well, we in Columbus as well. You know, Mama Dog from Columbus over there. Freedom
No,
Song.
we just relocated here about a year and a half ago. So there's very few
So
people.
let's keep it on the front line. You fighting in one of my favorite places, South Carolina, and I have been advising the people for years to just take the whole state of South Carolina. I was on the front line. I don't know. Do you know the name Anthony Hill?
Anthony Hill.
He
I
was,
know a person named Thomas Dixon out of Charleston, South
yeah,
Carolina, and uh,
Senator Clemente Pinkley,
yes,
Mhm.
yes. I say
Walter
it.
Scott.
Walter Scott.
Now the
Yeah,
whole audience, most of our audience knows those names. But to be clear, Anthony Hill was an Iraqi war veteran, and he uh, was injured in the Iraqi war, and he came home to Newberry South. You know Newberry up in
yes.
Columbus.
I lived it in South Carolina for over 26 years, and
Good.
that's the land of the Gullah Geechee people, which
Gullah
I
Geechee.
yes,
So
which
they
I
decided on the Anthony Hill case to shoot him in the back of the head, blow part of his head off. Then he was tied up, they say by Gregory Collins, and then he was dragged through the township of Newberry for 11 miles. And we went to the Black Panther Party, went to Newberry. So, you know, Highway 26 goes to Asheville, North Carolina. You know a little
North
bit about
Carolina.
that 26 highway?
Yes.
So Anthony Hill, was a father and a man that went to work at the Louis Rich Turkey Factory. But he came home to be killed by a white nationalist, and they blamed it on a 150-pound white boy. Senator Clemente Picklet was Senator. Um, his brainstorm brings the camera to the head of the squad car, that the holy, some call it police cars, and the camera on the body cam uniform of the police officers. Some call them police officers, but nevertheless, uh, it was his brainstorm. He was executed in his own church by Darlan Roof, another 150-pound white boy, and Gregory, I think Collins, I believe, was a 150-pound white boy. And I suggest to you that it's widespread in South Carolina, and that we can end the heinous hate crimes. Is what I'm attempting to team up with you with their brother elder minister. We would welcome the opportunity to team up and stomp out the hate crime from um, Charleston, South Carolina, I think it's the capital, to Columbia or Columbus, Ohio is capital. We could
Okay.
make a crisscross the Bible Belt.
Yes.
The Bible Belt, in my estimation, it stretches from Boston, Massachusetts to Houston, Texas. So a bypass would come right through South Carolina right there, going
Right.
to Atlanta. You got Augusta, South Carolina, and Augusta, Georgia.
Georgia. Yes.
Now, some tonight had to leave. They're not here with us, brother minister. They had to go to the Tiger Woods tournament and got them a green jacket tonight. But nevertheless, we didn't go. We stayed here. We held the line for Black Power Radio.
Yes.
And now I know, and you took it to the right place, because that's what I invited them. I said they have the black-white argument. Take it to the Congress, to the Congressional Black Caucus. Now you're saying you were booted out. Now you came here to Black Power Radio. We welcome you. We are called Black, and
Okay, I understand. I think your audio went out. Can you hear
Your
me?
audio went out, Akbar. We can't hear you right now.
Black empowerment, for
Okay.
Black power. And I know it's hard for some of us to make the case for Black power, especially when you say it's a color and it's not a people, and it's a this and it's a that. But now, when you convince them at some level, I will start moving towards you. When you can move them at the Congressional Black Caucus, that's one level. And then you've got some people there at the BIG. You ever heard of BIG?
No.
That's called the Blacks in Government. And they're strong. They're extremely strong. They're, all of their mortgages are paid. Their tithes at the church is paid. Their tuition for the college is paid. So they tend to not look at a minister like you and me walking around looking for donations. They don't pay attention to the wisdom that we spitting. You see what I say?
That's right.
Yeah. So now we have to find a way to team up. I need to get all the revolutionaries and all these black people together for the Million Youth Rally. Have you heard about that?
No, I haven't.
Well, I want you to prepare them in Ohio. Can you bring a delegation of youth to the Million Youth March? Million Youth Rally in D.C.?
I'm not going to make a promise that I cannot keep. First of hand, like I said earlier, we just relocated here.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. The reason I asked that question,
yes,
I'm seeking 10,000 black messiahs. J. Edgar Hoover, you ever heard of him?
Yes.
Well, some called him J. Edgar Hoover. And he was trying to stop the rise of one black messiah. Now I reverse the polarity on his equation and say I will raise 10,000 black messiahs. Do you qualify for that?
I say.
I say. So then we can minister on this thing. And I'll guarantee you, I will come to Columbus, Ohio myself and get 10 from the street. When you're in Columbus, it looked like a black Mecca. Am I lying to you?
No,
There's so many black people in Columbus. I thought I was in the,
yes.
what do you call Sierra Leone or
yes.
in Senegal, Africa. We go to Tuba Masjid over there.
Yes,
And I thought I was in the masjid, at Tuba when I came to Columbus.
Yeah,
So there's
there's a
no
lot of.
shortage of black people. And there's no shortage of work. Is my point.
That's
But I'm
right.
saying I have no excuse, no reason not to teach. Who brought you to Black Power Radio tonight?
The sister,
Me, right here,
Sister
Rabita.
Sister
Rabita.
Rabika. Now she's
Yes.
one of our greatest comrades because Sister Rabika and I are teamed up to stop the abuse, the abuse of the black woman, the criminal neglect of the black woman, and stopping this at the doors of these hospitals, shelters, not just women and men shelters, the jailhouse. I was a prison chaplain for 50 years in Washington, D.C. So I feel qualified to open the doors of my church, which is all the penitentiaries, and let our black women go free. The black woman has no business in jail. She should be producing a new nation. The new black nation should come out of her. What's the name you're using, Rev, over there to replace the black?
Say again.
You know I'm a master teacher, so I'm asking you, what word are you using to replace the black? So I can get you straight here.
Well, see, the terminology
Okay,
that
again, I didn't. I mean, I'm not. I'm. You know, you can see, and you already know, I'm not the brightest crown in the box. I'm not the
okay.
most brilliant man on the internet. I just asked a simple question: what name are you using to replace the black?
I'm not using no name to
Okay, then
replace the
slow
black.
down.
You see what I'm
We can
saying?
stop because you're on all black television, all black thing. So now
The
I'm
name
using
he used
adapt.
was
I
Gullah
happen to
Geechee.
talk. I happen to be talking.
let
Now I didn't
me
talk while you were talking, did I? So
let me
we can sing now. If we sing together, we can make a three-part harmony. But it would be totally impossible for us to talk at the same time and be heard and understood by others. And I want everyone here to totally comprehend what I'm saying.
yeah, but
So I'm saying,
you
just so I
asked me a
happen to be,
question.
sir, I
You
happen to
asked
be,
me a question and you
sir,
want an answer.
but you never answered the question, so I'm talking
Well,
right
because
now.
I was thinking, if you were to give
Well,
me a second to think, you see what I'm saying?
okay,
I'm
well,
an
go ahead.
elder
Give me
and
your
you
answer.
an
You can give me
elder.
your answer.
I yield the rest of my time that you speak.
No,
I don't have a
go ahead and
problem
give me
with
your
that.
answer. Give me your answer.
The answer is that I'm Gullah Geechee.
Okay, Gullah Geechee. We can use that word. You use the Gullah Geechee. Now I will use the word adapa, A-D. Are you writing, brother minister?
No, I'm
A.
not.
Okay, I need y'all, everybody to write A-D-A-P-A. Adapa is the first original tribes. Adapa is the first human being, first civilized, Homo sapien, upright thinking being.
That's your opinion.
And I'm saying to you this, I will also adapt the word, instead of using Africa, I will use the word Al-Kibulan.
All people, and I can
Al,
just say
A-L-K-H-E, Bulan, B-U-L-A-N.
you ain't got to spell it.
All right, now Al-Kibulan and Adapa, and I think if you research a little further, you'll find that Adapa is, again, as I stated, the first civilized thinking being. And we can go from the, you use Gala Geechee, because the Geechees come out, so you're just totally justified in using that. And I want you to keep appealing. Don't stop appealing to the Congress. Now, who did you go to in the Congress to get this straight, or the senator?
Senator Ronnie Sapp,
Ronnie Sam is from
South Carolina.
South Carolina. So now I want the whole state. Are you willing to team up with me to appeal to the Congress to get the whole state of South Carolina?
Yes,
Good.
definitely.
Okay, now we've started. We got a running start. There's a place called Gaffney. As soon as you hit South Carolina 85, you know Gaffney?
Yes,
And do you know Spartanburg?
yes, and
Okay,
Greensburg and all of them.
Greensboro. Then you can go to my. You can go to Orangeburg, go to Columbia, you can go to Greenville, and I got a dozen more small townships. But I'm aiming tonight. I'm targeting Gaffney because there was a white redneck mayor by the name of Randy Moss. Do you know him?
I never heard of them.
He's been replaced by a black person. We went to the city council. This is what I'm saying. I'm doing some politics here now.
Okay.
We went to went to the county. We went to the city council meeting with Randy Moss in Gaffney, South Carolina, and we went to the county board meeting to get the politics straight. The reason we went when you see the Black Panther, you know it's something terribly has gone wrong, right? Something has gone awry, and they've
Ashay.
either injured somebody or killed somebody. What they did in Gaffney, South Carolina, they murdered a woman by the name of you gotta get your pencil ready at some point. It's Keisha Lucille Tate was executed in front of of six of her nine. She had nine children, and she was executed in front of six of her nine children. The Black Panther Party decided to go to town. They had a guy there, a white nationalist, was playing with his guns and decided to shoot her and say he was target practicing, missed the target and hit her. We found evidence that he executed her and got him on murder one. They took him out of the jail at Gaffney and put him in Spartanburg jail. When we got to Spartanburg, there was a guy named Chuck Wright who had 20 body bags. You need to write some of this down. 20 body bags in record time. In 1 year, 20 some black people killed under the leadership of Chuck Wright. And we have challenged his sheriff department. He is, if you don't know Spartanburg, you need to get to know it. It's where the BMW, where you have real black man working, right?
That's right.
Or the BMW what? Automobile, is that right?
That's right.
And the SUV and the other vehicles.
Yes.
Miniature, minor, electric, non-electric, and all that. But black people really paid in full around in that area. But we have the power to take the state for black people and let us manage, because the heinous hate crime will continue up and until we get our own state or until we get something different going as a theme. As you know, doctor, there's no process of osmosis. There is no mechanism that I know that's going to trigger off and something that's going to levitate down from the heavens and help us with this. We're going to have to do this ourselves. If you want justice, the Honorable Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said that you are going to have to take it. If you want emancipation, God damn it, you're going to have to take it, because these bastards are not going to give it to you. Am I making sense so far? I hope they're not
I
going to
say,
give
win
this
it
to
with
you.
your own two hands.
You proved it. Is the minister still there? He might be gone. He gone? Anyhow, they're not going to give you anything.
He's still
And
here.
you're still here, minister? I hope he's here. So that means we're going to have to take some of this justice and manage it with our own hands so that justice will reign. REIGN will rain down like waters so that we, the righteous, can rise up and run like a mighty stream. And you can't get there on osmosis. You can't get there wishing and waiting and praying something's going to come. Well, Gil Scott Heron said, don't wait on the train from Washington. It's already 100 years overdue. I don't think anything's gonna come from well wishing. You're gonna have to take Black Revolution and manage that for yourself. You're gonna have to
I
take
say,
justice, freedom, justice, and equality and manage it with your hands. Are you still with me, Minister? I hope he's still there. I hope I didn't blow him off the air or nothing. Is he there?
He's still
Senator,
there. He's still here.
he's still here with us. Okay. So I'm asking for his team up. We have some of the same efforts. We just differ slightly. But he's, I guess, one of the few ministers that have come on that we have so much in common with. But until he gets it put in place, I'm going to hold the line for Black Revolution, because Fred Hampton said, I am a revolutionary. Sheikh Imam Akbar teaches that I am a Black revolutionary. I am a Black revolutionary. The Most Honorable Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad teaches us that revolution is the only solution. Sheikh
I
Imam
say,
Akbar,
Ashe.
Sheikh Imam Akbar is teaching you today that Black revolution is the only solution. Until we get
Ashe.
Black revolution, they will continue with the heinous hate crime. They will continue to do what they have done to Anthony Hill and dragged him. And I forget to tell you, brother minister, there was a second Anthony Hill. Both men are from James Clyburn district. We have to dig up James Clyburn. We're not through with you yet. He ran under the house on the first Anthony Hill. He ran under the house on the second, two Anthony Hills, both Iraqi war veterans. Both were injured in the Iraqi war. Why should we not dig up James Clyburn and make him confess that he did an injustice by not using the Ways and Means Committee, without using the hate crimes legislation to charge these crackers and lock them up? This is the problem. Now, you're more familiar with the state of South Carolina than I am. but I am extremely familiar for being a so-called outsider. I know a whole hell of a lot about South Carolina, Ohio, and all of the other 50 states, as we'll get to it next time. But I'm appealing to you, Minister. Are you willing to team up with us with this black with all this black? Can you team up with the Black Panthers and go after these bastards, sir?
Well, see, do I have permission to speak now? Is that a yes?
Yes, sir. I yield my mic to you, sir. Ben yield.
But much love, much love. See, let me explain exactly who I am, so then we can go to the next level. Because I know we can agree to disagree. One thing over the last 25 years, I've done extensive research on what we call now the gatekeepers. And those are like what you were saying, James Clyburn and a lot of the black caucuses that's been designed and set up to try to keep us and give us a pacifier to keep us quiet. So I am well aware of the constituents that's in the White House, the outhouse, and the in-house. And I don't joke with anyone. So as long as we can be on the same page, I'm at your disposal and I'm your servant. You see, but I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing because nobody can buy me, like I said before. I'm not trying to repeat history. I'm trying to start another history that consists
Why did you have it?
Please mute up, mute up.
Hello?
of some great men and some great elders that's willing to sacrifice for a greater cause. But you got to understand how this system is constructed. Have you heard of the Matrix?
Multiple matrix, but
I
10
say,
different ways.
And,
10
and
different
see,
ways.
okay, that's all I had to say is Matrix and the multiverse. You see what I'm saying? These are billions of programs, in short, that's been set up and designed by those Jesuits, by those other entities that is not even human beings that we dealing with.
global white supremacy.
So I ain't talking about no white supremacy. I'm talking about those central bankers. I'm talking about the entities that look like they're human beings, but they're not human beings. Let's get real. You see what I'm saying?
Come on now, tell the truth, Minister.
So
Yes.
until you really
One mic on the minister.
So until you really know what you up against, these Caucasoids and these reptilians, that's what we dealing with. So until you can raise your kundalini and your chakra and being able to possess and have that understanding, not an understanding, that's the European language. I come with the 42 principles of Ma'at, the original.
I say,
Dealing with spirituality before religion even came on the scene. That's why I've been pointed as chief, because the colonizers don't have no room for me. And I don't have no room for them. Because I come with a double-edged sword. I'm not finna play with this beast by jabbing it in the stomach and playing with his tail and his foot. I'm out to take the head off. So the
freedom of death, freedom of death.
So the whole body will drop. Because I have 15 grandkids and 5 great grands. And what grandpa does to pave the way for my next generation, that's what I'm here to do. Clear the way. not only for my great grandchildren, but for my community and my melanated people that came out of Kemet, their ancestors. It's a shame that our own people don't even want to visit Africa. Talk to a few of them. The first thing they say, I didn't want to go over there because they've been controlled and mind programmed by looking at UNICEF and all those organizations that call themselves helping and supporting the people in the Congos and in West and North and South Africa, and talk about Tarzan swinging from a tree. You know what I'm saying? The greatest story. Who you
Yep.
think built the pyramids and the Sphinx? That was our ancestors. So if people don't know, ask the minister, chief elder. I will enlighten you. And then you can take the information that I give you and get validation for yourself. See, a lot of people, they don't read the Bible. They don't even understand it because their use of a sermon. I don't have a sermon. There's a difference between a pastor and a minister. A minister that ministers to the people. A pastor is going to pacify you with his jumping hallelujah, thank you, Jesus sermon. I ain't got time for that because there's a man that's called Horace and a Set. Do the research and then get back to me. I yield the rest of my time.
Yes, sir. And as we pick up at Horace, at Aset, and we go straight into Imhotep and
Yes.
Akhenaten.
Yes,
See,
sir.
the Akhenaten is the father of our spiritualism. And he
Yes,
had the
sir.
monotheistic idea
Yes,
5,000
sir.
years before there was Abraham, Moses, Jesus, and any of that. You got to get on your right page and use your Maya. They give us 141 at least, 142 principles.
147. 147.
147 of them. So we took your 40 some and took our 104, took our 200 principles of the Maya, add the Nguzu Saba, and we got divine black revolution.
Yes,
Straight up
sir.
with no chase. I mean, straight up with, and bring your aunt with you when you come, and bring your son, daughters, and your grandchildren, because I'm 72 years old, big brother. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I got 31 living grandchildren, 33, two sons dead in the streets of DC, two grandsons dead in the streets of DC. I ain't afraid of nothing, but I'm telling you straight up, I got 5 great grands. With me and my great grandchildren, you and your grandsons in Columbus, DC, Ohio, I got organic farm in West Virginia, farmland accessibility on Harriet Tubman property, farmland accessibility on Nat Turner property. I ain't afraid, I ain't need no friends, I ain't lonely, but I invite you, all them melanated people like he talking about, and bring all these melanation together. The hell with the non-melanation. They ain't never fought for you, ain't never stood for you. Rev, he tried, what Brother Priest, Brother Minister tried.
I
He said, man,
say,
I'm just trying to show you something right here. And the man booted him out.
I
Me and you done
say,
been down there, Janae, is that right or wrong? What they do? They booted us out. We said, well, we just tried to open them. We booted us out. Mubia Abu Jamal, he tried. He said, man, I just want to open a co-op on the street. Shut up. Get in that jail cell for 40 years. You ain't got no business with no co-op. What you going around here talking about a co-op? Kenny
right.
Bridges tried. They shot him right at the FBI headquarters and said a sniper did it. Yeah.
Wow.
That's some real shit I'm talking about right here.
Yes, sir. Yes,
I ain't
sir.
even gonna lie to you. Another one tried and he died. He died, yeah, laid to the side. Tired and died and laid to the side. They forced me to write, Brother Minister, a thing called the early instant death syndrome.
Wow.
Are we disproportionately affected by death when it comes especially to our sports and entertainment community and our social and political community? You and I can sit here and name them all night. When we say Anthony Hill 1, Anthony Hill 2, both come out of James Clyburn. Ron Brown come out of Clinton. He in the body bag.
Yes.
Senator Clemente Pinkley, he
Yes.
come what's the name? Out of Nelson Mandela now. He got
Yes.
African Methodist Episcopal Church, all that. He put the body cam on the body cam on the squad car. They kill him like a mangy dog, like the same thing they did for Muammar Gaddafi. Some of these have death squads, pre-hit pre-hit list. Osama bin Laden, Muammar Gaddafi, Saddam Hussein. You know, he said he murdered his own people. Y'all got to kill him. What's the guy? Assad, come out of Syria. You got to kill him. You understand? This is just crazy stuff, man, that we're dealing with. Uh, Nelson Mandela, but they leave out Winnie Mandela. They don't
Yes.
want you to get free. They
Right.
don't want you to be free on your mind, your principle, on your Umoja principle. Umoja will take us all, set us all free. I
Yes.
am born, by the way, brother minister, to end all forms of enslavement for the melanated nation. That's my job assignment, my divine assignment. If I ever shame you or disgrace you, I will sooner slice off my head in the guillotine and let you cut the rope. I'm just saying, straight up. I'm not going to deceive you. I ain't going to lie to you. None of that. But I see you have the same spirit for the Maya that I have.
Yes,
You
sir.
have the same spirit for the revolution that I have. You want to end this peculiar brand of enslavement. You want to
Yeah.
stop all forms of what I call Mediterranean imperialism and capitalistic imperialism. You want to stop them from holding the money on the money resources, natural and mineral resource of Africa.
Ashe.
Or if I would
Ashe.
say land, same mother country.
Ashe.
We are the same, brother. And we just
Uh,
gonna have to fine tune a few things. But we
yes,
preaching
sir.
exactly the same. Now y'all been on Black Power Radio. Y'all ever heard this message preached like this? Both ministers are saying almost precisely and exactly the same thing. He from
Ashe.
South Carolina, I'm from DC. But we got the same minister because God is our witness. See, we believe in the divine principles. We didn't
Yes.
ask Whitey on the moon which way was to the divine principles. We didn't study in his school of theology and technology. We went in our
Ashe.
own school, like my honorable Dr. Frederick Douglass, like my
Ashe.
honorable Nat Turner. Do you
Ashe.
think them crackers got somebody send them Hitler and set them Donald the Duck Trump? And the almighty divine God of the world ain't saying you nobody? Oh, you gotta be
Nobody.
kidding me. He sent nobody to get you. Because you can't see Prophet Malcolm X, Prophet Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. You can't see the prophecy and the prophecy in the armored prophet Harriet Tubman. You can't see it because you've been blind in your spiritual eye, blind in your third eye. You too busy trying to track down an eyeball on a freaking dollar bill than to see the third eye of Harriet Tubman,
Ashe.
the
Ashe.
third eye of Fannie Lou Hamer, the
Ashe. Ashe.
third eye of Barbara Jordan,
Ashe.
the third eye that was in our beloved sister Shirley Chisholm. Huh?
Ashe.
They don't want to talk about Shirley Chisholm because it's
Ashe.
talking too much like getting free. They don't want to get free. And Whitey on the Moon don't want to see you go free for yourself. I got to
That's
yield
right.
back to the minister, but I'll just be really fired up. But I know
Yes, sir.
he itching to say something. I gotta let him go. I
Ashe.
can't because you gotta drop it like it's hot, minister, because it's
Yes,
too hot to
sir.
hold.
Yes,
It's too
sir.
hot to hold. My
And
mama.
don't forget, I have 24 master teachers, Professor James Smalls, and Dr. Leonard Jeffries, and Mrs. Jeffries, and the list goes on. Deborah Blair. You know what I'm saying? I come up under the wings of our ancestors who had guided me, who has strengthened me, who made all things new again in my life. And I share that wisdom of understanding and spirituality around the world, around the globe, because this is our time to be reckoned with. Even in the midst of the storm, I see Haru. I see our ancestors jumping for joy because they know our time has really come. See, the reason why we are so great is because of the melon that's in your body is worth more than gold, worth more than silver and gold that you're getting ready to deck the halls of Jolly with. That is satanic. See, they played a trick on you and you didn't even know it. And you passed it down to the next generation and the next generation. But there is a great awakening. We are now in that time of Aquarius. And Aquarius is shining like the bright northern star. But if you can't see and if you can't hear, let me do what one of the scriptures say. Let me rub some spittle over your eyes
Come
so
on with it.
that you can see. Ashe, ashe, ashe. And
That's it.
the thing that we have to understand that we are all connected and divine spiritual beings having a human experience. We are the gods and the goddesses in the flesh and bone, walking, having an earthly experience. We came here because we asked to come back here. You just got to remember. You just got
Absolutely.
to seek out the truth. And that truth is all inside of you. Every book that ever existed on this great mother earth. So you can't sell me no book. I just got to remember what the topic is. So above, so below. So above, so below. Minister.
Absolutely.
I say, oh.
So,
So
I
I
just, I
yeah,
just, I just held that job up there so they know, because it looked like I'm drinking a cold beer, but it's actually coffee, bro.
energy drink.
that,
But I'm
it's
listening to you, Minister. You getting off, and I'm just saying, as you pick up at Dr. James Small, still give me a book every time I go to excuse me, I'm so sorry. Every time I go to New York City and Manhattan, and James Small still gives the books, and Dr. Leonard
yes,
Jeffers still blessing me. We just did Marcus Messiah Garvey Day. We just put Black Panther on the sign on 122nd and Adam Clayton Powell in New York, Harlem.
yes,
And Dr. Leonard Jeffries, his wife is Dr. Rosalind Jeffries, is
yes.
still teaching her class in Africa, home and abroad. She ain't backed up none. She still teaches me too. And that's what I'm
Okay.
saying. We're twins of the exact same star. As you
Yes,
see,
sir.
he and I, we're not missing a beat on these teachers in the person of Dr. Chancellor Williams, my other advisor, Dr. Ivan Van Sertima, out of the
Yes.
Rutgers and all he did, Yale, Rutgers,
I
Harvard,
say,
all these guys been, Dr. Colin Nolan been to
I
Harvard,
say,
Yale, and we all research together, and we come back with the exact same evidence.
I
Get your
say,
bio, your presence, get your comedic science before you go and do chemical science, and it will give you the key. The sister has her hand. Allow the sister to say she's waving her or she raising her hand. The sister is a revolutionary in her own right. Sister Black has been raising those. Is that Sister Black? I believe it is.
Moses.
Oh, Black
it's
Moses, Sister
Moses.
Black Moses, that's
Sister
right.
Rabita
And
Moses.
she checking them crackers out there. Believe me when I tell you, big brother, she ain't
Okay.
going soft on them devils over there. I don't know if y'all can say what y'all want to say about that sister, but she taking the fight right there for the woman to not be abused in Montgomery County, not be abused in D.C. We took it so far, Rev, brother minister. We've taken it to the Delaware, Maryland, Virginia. Put your footnotes in Columbus because DC is a capital, but it's not a state, not a state. So we're taking Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, soon to come South Carolina, Ohio, and North Carolina. And we might get all 50 states if we keep working. But we're going to get them states. Why we going to get them? Because we got self-determination. We got the principles of Maya. They don't have that. We
That's
have
right.
a form of justice. El Idol, the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Most High God, has said, "Kad eflahad el mukminuna," the same thing in another language, that
I
the
say,
righteous believers must, if God has promised you a victory over the wicked, the
I
righteous
say,
must when it's a war between the wicked and the righteous.
I
And
say,
Allah has promised the victory to the rightly guided people. The Rashidun over the Kafirun. The Rashidun, the rightly guided people, over these hypocrites. And they got a munafiq and a munafiqun. And these munafiqs make themselves known. That's what's wrong with the rappers and these delegates and people getting themselves killed because they always assign a hypocrite as a friend. They
I say,
mistaken a hypocrite for a friend is why they going down. That's why P. Diddy and Jay going down. That's why this one and that one. Tupac and Michael accepted a hypocrite as a friend, and it was the death of them.
I
Huh?
say.
Oh my. The sister trying to say something. Give her that mic. You trying to say something?
Please,
Yeah,
yes, she is. Thank you.
yeah. Thank you all. That was, we have two legendary elders sharing, dropping knowledge on us young folks. And I know we have Drea on the line. Drea, she's actually a resident on one of the shelters. And then if initial, inshallah, I know I call you
Please
two
have them to
different
open her
things.
mic. Please have them to open her mic, please.
Please, Drea, if you're listening and if you want to share what's been going on with you, as the resident of the shelter and the abuse that you have been facing and the retaliation. Drea, can you hear me?
See to this open, Sister Renee, Janae. Well, let's work with that mic until we get it.
Okay, I think
She has to hit red. You hit the red button. It
She
turns white. Did it turn white?
she gotta unmute herself. I can't unmute her.
Drea, can you hear me? You gotta unmute yourself.
Hit the mute on the front of your screen. There's two red buttons. There's three red buttons. Hit the middle one. Can you hit the middle one? Do you have it set up? It's a little red. Tell her hit the red button on her phone. Can you call and explain it to her?
One
I know
has a
she's
microphone with a line across it.
the mic. Hit the line on the microphone.
She's in a Uber. She can't talk right now. So
Oh,
Oh,
okay,
okay.
okay, okay.
Well, she
okay.
can
If
speak for her. Speak for her until she get her
Well,
back.
I'll give a little bit of about what's going on with Sister Drea. She is actually in a medical bed, and they've been actively isolating her. She is a black woman. She has suffered tremendous abuse. She was put out in the middle of the night.
No, she was
In
not.
Yes, she was
Mhm.
put out by staff in the middle of the night. She has severe health issues. Um, that's why I know she's an Uber, but I wish probably another
Brother,
time when she. Mm-hmm.
Jabu.
Oh,
You got a
yeah,
motor.
but she has definitely, she was isolated to the point where they had staff sitting outside of her room. They've telling people they cannot talk to her. They actively tell clients not to talk to her. And I really, really feel for her, and we need to get her rehoused immediately. And I know, Sister Initial, if you can touch base on, some of the things, with the shelters, or just, in Montgomery County, Maryland, that you have experience of how the Black community is treated. And I did drop the link in the chat about the drones, because the drones are the first responders here in Montgomery County, Maryland. There's very high level of policing under the watch of our county executive, Mark Elridge. And yeah, Sister Nisha, I'll let you take it from here. Thank you so much for being here.
Well, as we stated earlier, and now, excuse me, we have been saying this. This is not new, and also, just to be clear, I don't see sometimes where the events are always isolated based on color, but that is definitely they use a weapon against, what we see in the shelters is that the residents who enter the shelter, they have a process that they're supposed to go through. Now, when that process is not done, they'll reach out to us, and we'll sort of start being in the background for them. So we've been doing that, and mind you, we get retaliated against as well, right? But we do have the tools to know when it's something dealing with HUD. We utilizing those Fair Housing Act laws. We are utilizing making complaints. We are also trying to, for people who are bedridden and they have disabilities, it's a different process for them. We also have our healthcare system here that works against us. And so you have all these different systems in place working against some of them. And one thing we do try to do is educate residents about them not being Section 8 and tell them more about Section 3 and how community block grants are awarded through Section 3 and through these programs. And we also register them as Section 3 residents so they can utilize that services. Because if you look at Section 3, it says by any means necessary. That's the language they chose to use in Section 3. So we know where that language comes from. And it is for business education. And so it wouldn't matter what city or state you go across in relation to the allocation of Section 3. You have your Habitat Humanity, your Enterprise, and your Enterprise, Habitat, and LISC, LISC, which is out of New York City, and they do have a headquarters here in DC. They're like the big three, and I would give it to Enterprise in Montgomery County. And so when we're dealing with the residents, we're really trying to get the ones who are able to understand the processes of the programs they in to start self-certifying themselves, because they actually can. If we look at any department, at the bottom of every website of every department, it says partner. And so we partner just to complete certain applications. Now, we actually prefer residents, to each his own in what you eat, but we believe that some of these, whether it be food stamps or all these things, they are so dependent on the person recertifying, or if you have to take off work and they have no concern about you doing that, and it doesn't matter, and they want you to recertify, you have to remember. But in all reality, a lot of these things are dependencies. And so we really try to educate the women who are able at that time with right where they're at, but also telling them, like, don't be too dependent on that case manager who is also being attacked, who's also in a competitive race with other people who are basically trying to eat one another at this point, because that's what we're really seeing, them sort of mimicking some of the abuses that they have. And so, like the minister said, I do not see human beings in some of these individuals. They're lowerly, and I'm talking about the ones who are suppressing, oppressing our sisters in the shelter. And the sisters in the shelter have to do, the woman earlier said, I believe her name is Queen, she asked for testimonies from these women in a timely fashion. And these are the things I would like to see happen. We really don't do meetings. What we do is action-orientated meetings. They are based on the things that have to get done within a simple, within that time. And so because when we're in the meetings with county or with whoever, they can muffle your voice, or they will try. So I'm a screamer normally. I'm normally screaming, and to the point where I'm going to be heard. And I believe that while I'm being heard, I'm asking someone else to take an action, that we're not just out there talking too much to the residents, that we're set up so that we are doing action-oriented things that resolve their issues immediately. And so we're coming in with straight force. Again, I just met Rabita, right? And I was raised in Congress Heights, Southeast Washington, D.C. And, my family, I have a large family. I have 26 nieces and nephews. I have 19 brothers and sisters, 9 by my mother, and that other number is how my father is moving, which is fine. I love my family. And to come here, because I will say, in all reality, when we look up the makeup of Montgomery County, you can almost see migration. You'll see that Southeast residents are placed in places where in no way, shape, or form they have any community there. They don't have family there. You can't exist. And so we look at that and we know, in even a small town like here in DC, because it's right across the street, really, you could literally jog down Rockville Pike and be from here to there. It is not a long walk at all. And so they literally will take you. And this is because if you're dependent on these programs, if you are dependent on these programs, this is what's going to happen to you. And I can actually say the only difference in white or black in a program is that we will hold information, but the facilitator is biased. Whereas white people don't actually have the information. And what happens to them is because of the color of their skin, the treatment and condition is different. But for us, it is that the facilitator is biased. So I always try to focus on that. And I commend all of y'all. I thank y'all for inviting me to the meeting, as well as Robita. She's up against the smoke at this point. Um, we were also told not to show up on Wednesday, but I asked that when we do show up, we show up so organized because we're all beautiful. And this will really help the women who are afraid to know that, oh, we have coats for you. That's nothing. We have, some of these things. I'm sorry, I would actually have to freeze to death before I allow somebody to try to convince me that I can't have joy and easement in any living space that I'm in. And
My
that
man.
includes the shelter.
Ashe,
Sister,
Ashe.
thank you for sharing those syllables with us. Thanks for having the courage of your own conviction to come on. Stay
I
right
try.
by the mic. I want you to stay there. If you want to say some more, you're going to get to say some more. But this is Monday's retreat night. We got everybody in the house. We done heard from Ajabu. We done heard from OC, the local chairman. We've heard from New World Warrior. We've heard from the brother minister, elder minister himself, live living my art himself. All the rest of those sisters today, I've been at the mic, and now this is treat night. Is that right or wrong? True or false? I just want to welcome my first man I met that ever did anything that stayed consistent in the revolution and still fighting today and will leave the revolution, go right in the courtroom, fight his battle, come right back on the battlefield and slay the dragon. And we're talking specifically about our open enemy tonight and the abuse of our women and the resurrection of our minister as we're raising 10,000 black messiahs. I'm so happy to be on the air with our doctor and attorney Malik Zulu Shabazz, a great man in his own right. And he and God is not through with you yet. My. Assalamu alaikum and black power, black power, black power, black power. And that's with
Black
a
Power.
strong black military. So we can
Black
black that
Power,
cause for
welcome,
justice.
soldier,
Black
or
power.
attorney at war. Black Power.
All power to the people.
All power to the people. Have we got him? Let's see. We should have him. I don't know. I hope he's not in the
Bedouin,
wrong time. Have you seen his
Loud and
badge?
clear, brother.
brother Bedouin.
Better when it's on. That
Yes.
better one,
Yeah.
Charlie. Let me make sure I can get my man Zulu's supposed to be on the line. I sent him the hot wire, and he's supposed to be live. Is he there yet?
No, you might have to.
Have you seen him break the ice, Queen Mother Janae?
I just heard him.
I don't see him yet. No, he's not signing in yet.
You haven't seen him signing. He may be signing the wrong channel. Let me go black and
He
see what
must
the
have came
problem
in
is.
and phased out. This is New
Black
World. I
power.
heard him come in and then he phased out.
Black power.
I didn't see him.
Brother Bedouin.
Bedouin, you still there? Well, since we got a little break, I did
Okay.
want to give y'all a presentation for tonight.
Absolutely.
While we wait, you get a little bit of the appreciation um, video we did for Brother Pete. It was something that was
That was
on
really
for the
nice what you all
appreciation.
did.
It's coming
This is
up.
New World. I'm gonna step off the stage so somebody else can get in on this.
No, I want you to hear this new word. Hold on.
Okay. All right.
Is it loud enough?
Kind of soft, but we can hear it if we listen closely.
Now there's no. Okay.
Low. for the membership and contribution to the Washington D.C. chapter of the Black Panther Party. And this is it right here.
Congratulations.
Here you go. We're gonna take a look at that. So if ain't nobody ever told you they love you, we do. Okay. And also, Imam Ali, we like to present to you your token of appreciation for your work by providing the food. All the food you see here is donated
It's paused.
by the Rashidon Community Center. You know, they give this to us to feed the people. This is food. That is no food is freedom in this city. Believe it or not, food will keep somebody from robbing you. Food will keep somebody from hurting themselves. If they got a full belly, they going to lay down. They're not coming out here in these streets looking for no trouble. So we do this for the people, you know. And I just want to thank y'all. You know, thank you so much. Okay. All right.
And
You want y'all to say anything? Go ahead.
Most of y'all in here already know who I am since I was a kid, and y'all know I gave y'all hell through the whole years. But this brother right here, I've been giving him more hell since I was young.
I hope I'm not the only one who can't hear anything.
Oh yeah, I cannot hear anything.
I don't hear anything either.
Hear nothing. Hold on 1 second. Okay. It's just too low. I have to redo it, but I thought it was playing.
We still love you anyway. It's gonna take more than that to turn me against you. What else you got? Bring it. It ain't gonna be enough.
Oh, all right. So that basically was our appreciation.
Your mic went out, Janae.
But we have a lot of technical difficulties, y'all. It's jumping in and out, so I'm gonna remove it. Okay, people getting knocked off left and right tonight. The show is actually over at 10 p.m. I was just trying to give Akbar a chance to come back in. They go attorney Malik. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, he's
Yep.
on.
Oh yeah, now we hear this lunacy. Man, I'm gonna tell y'all something. I've soldiered with a lot of brothers over my whole 72 years on this earth through 7 children, 31 grandchildren, couple of few of them dead in the streets. But of all the brothers I soldiered with, the eternal soldier has been most consistent in my life is our honorable attorney and Dr. And attorney Malik Zulu Shabazz has found his way to the airlines tonight. And we've had an awesome weekend and we've had awesome years together. So it's not no exaggeration that we've had Brother Ajabu here tonight, Brother New World Warrior, Sister Janae, Dr. Critical Race Truth Bay. We've had some OC, our DC chairman, and a lot of things are happening with him very positively at this hour. But I want to welcome a strong round of Black Power in the spirit and the legacy of the most honorable Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad himself. I'd like to welcome Dr. and attorney Malik Zulu Shabazz. Assalamu alaikum and Black Power. Black Power.
Black Power attorney at war.
I don't see. He was there, but he's gone
He was there and gone. How could he be gone?
from the radio.
These are not accidents, y'all. The devil is
Oh,
working full
the
time
devil is
plus.
at work here. He's
That's his
strongly with you.
job. But
Let
we
me
ain't
try
taking
one
no
more
breaks
time.
either.
Let me see. He'll be
Absolutely.
back. He will return, y'all. Let me try one more time. Uh,
But in the meantime, we gonna stand up and take it all back, make it all black, just like that. Now, relative to what Sister was saying, I suggest we learn the process, master it,
Black Power.
and hold all of those devils
Yep,
accountable.
Absolutely.
that's right. We will hold each and every one. They will not be all let off the hook. You right. New World knows what's going on.
Yes,
And
sir. Let's
we
learn the
still,
process,
at all
master
levels,
the
we
process.
erect the edifice in the ground and we erect the character. We building character. New World War and our building character in men and women all over this planet. We ain't got no limitations. If
And
you
instructors.
have a limitation, it's because of the limitations you set on yourself.
Everything must be right and exact. God is God of order. We must be also.
Well, wait a minute.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hold 1 second. Let me make sure I'm on. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
And just so
Okay,
my
good.
name is Inshallah. My name is Inshallah, and just so the panel knows that um, my name is Inshallah, and on August the 6th, because the landlord allowed someone to spray, which is a pest management company in my unit, I had a full out heart attack. And it was not a real heart attack because I tell you today, I'm here, right? And I did not take not one heart medicine pill, and it was about 9 of them. I left from the hospital and came home, but before that, I would have got a trespass order because literally my body could jump over in regard to my landlord just to inform her that do not have anyone spray in my home. And she did it again the second time, just disregarding the issue that the first time my body just rejected it and my face swell up, everything swollen up. And I said, okay, there's a chemical present. And then the second time when she did it, no, my body did not sustain. I fell to the floor. I was able to crawl to my phone and call the ambulance, and I was sent to the emergency room while I had a heart attack and refused to take fentanyl because I was trying to make sure that I stayed here, but they wanted to give me fentanyl and flatline me. But God was with me. It was so much light around me. I was able to instruct the nurses in what to do and what not to do because they were all on their cell phones. While my body, while if they were paying attention, they would have known that I was having a heart attack, but they did not. But God sustained me, and so these are all the problems that women in Montgomery County face, families, men, it doesn't matter. Most of these buildings are flooding. They're all under Section 3. They all have housing or owned by housing. Nothing's affordable about them. So we're looking at how is HUD even negotiating or who is doing the negotiation because these really aren't affordable units. They're horrible. Most of them have green certification, tax credit breaks, and nothing's green about the units unless it was if it was built during a certain time. There's all actual chemicals, certain chemicals in that soil through that water supply, based on that last war. And so we're dealing with health crises and housing, and we're dealing with that shelter, but it's all intertwined. When you leave the shelter, they're most likely going to place you in the same way they treated you when you moved from it's going to be the same. You're going to be around that same energy because that's how you're being placed. And so it will be what we've been doing for the last 4 years is partnering with Black realtors like NARAB and Fannie. We mentioned Fannie Mae. We've been partnering with them to ask them to show concern and understand that it's an issue of concern and understand how you all are developing anyway. Not unless you're a part of a pool, but you're not developing anyway. So you're missing out on the benefits of the funding and the grants because like again, it says by any means necessary that you will apply the Section 3 rule, not the Section 8, because that's what Black people are educated about. They need to understand how Caucasians and the other groups are navigating and mapping the resources. And those are the type of clinics and sessions I really want to see us have as these individuals enter. Section Senate Bill 1107 says as of July 1st of 2025, all shelters will go under an assessment, and they also will have to abide by what the admissions, they calling it admissions, meaning they are entering into that shelter and that domain will be a certain way. But those things get swept under the rug when there's no workforce development to make those things happen. Um, all these programs have what you call contract monitors. When I spoke with them, and basically, oh, we're all trained. And I said, yeah, I'm trained as well. That has nothing to do with what Nicole's story is, Drea's story, Alfie. We have LaShonda. We have Mr. Bailey. We have so many. And the grievances that set in place, they allow the individuals to have the keys. If we're complaining about your employers or your managers or directors, why are they getting the keys to the box? Do you really think they're going to take those grievances that are written by the women in the shelter to the next? Why would they submit them? Why would they make sure they're dealt with? Those grievances will be read, and I believe I was told in 2 weeks, because most likely Rabita and them will continue, and we will continue what they're doing. So I just wanted to share that. Somebody mentioned how we need to become educated in the processes, and that is true.
Black
Thank
Power,
you.
Black Power.
Black
I think
Power.
we finally got my big brother synced up at the mic. Dr. Attorney Malik Zulu Shabazz should be in the house, and his mic should be working. Is your mic on, Dr. Attorney? Let's see, can we get a mic check? Mic check on Malik Zulu Shabazz. We're trying to get a mic check. Mic check. Mm. Something is done. Let's see. He should be able to
His
hear us.
mic on. It's the connection. For some reason, we have a really bad connection tonight.
Is he
Do you
talking?
hear us,
Let me see.
Attorney Malik?
You might turn your
Type
volume. You
in the
might hit the
private
volume.
chat if you can hear.
The volume at the top. You got another volume on yours. Some phones and setups have 2 volumes, one at the bottom and one at the top. Can you see that? Okay, test, and your mic should be in white. It should be red, and you hit the red, it should turn black. Can you hear us now? Let's see.
No, he had to leave and come back, and then if he
It
come
should
back
try.
on, I'll put him on the
Trying to
stage.
get him on there right away if he comes back.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
He has a lot of good
So,
information that we need
yeah.
right about now. See, he should have returned. We're right here with you. Certainly, this is one of the best
Can y'all
exchanges. You
hear
should
me?
listen for the content of
Yeah,
this.
we can hear you.
There you
All
go.
right.
Oh, there he is, the Honorable Attorney Malik Zulu Shabazz. Thank you for joining us tonight, and yet another episode of Black Power Radio TV News. Thank you
All
for
right.
joining us.
Y'all
Assalamu
can't hear me.
alaikum.
Y'all can't hear me.
Assalamu alaikum and
Yeah,
Black Power. Black Power.
Man,
Black
walaikum
Power.
Black Power,
salam.
we hear
Walaikum
you.
salam. Walaikum salam and black power to black family here on Black Power Radio. And to all of the supporters and friends of the Sheikh Imam Akbar Bilal. And it's great to be on Black Power Radio. I mean, it's always good to know that an institution exists and that it just lives on through years and years, man, through somebody keeping it up. It takes a man, a human being, to keep this institution of Black Power Radio up. So we honor you, Sheikh Imam Akbar and Brother Dynamite Lightning, Sister Janae.
We cannot hear you.
I want to make sure I'm heard. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, now we can.
Yes, sir. You phased
Absolutely.
in and
You're
phased
clear
out.
right
Damn
now, Doctor.
microphone.
Yes.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Holler if you hear me. Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, yes.
Black power.
Black
Black.
power.
Black power. No, we cannot hear you.
Can I ask everybody something? What if we all turned our mics down? I'm not sure. I'm just guessing. I don't know about nothing about frequencies other than they could be good or bad. But
Yeah, when it comes back out, just everybody, you ain't got to turn it down. Just mute up.
If you mute your mic, he will come through.
I'm striving to get in a better area, man. We're gonna complete this mission.
Definitely, you're clear. You're absolutely clear right there.
We hear you. Stay. We hear you. Stay where you are right now.
Damn screen, God. Come on one more time.
What is? I think we can hear him. He may not be able to hear us.
I'm gonna leave out and I'm just gonna see because sometimes that could be. Let me just leave out.
Hear me?
Yes, Attorney Edward, we hear you. You're kind of low, but we hear you.
Hold on, I'm trying to get out this dead zone.
You're in a good spot
Yeah,
right now. Stay right there.
we got rain, snow, and hail right here in Washington D.C.
It's all
So
right.
we got weather
Can
and
you hear
storm.
me?
Go ahead. Black power. Black power. Yes, sir.
I'm driving to a better area, trying to get me some better coverage, man. I hate to do this to y'all.
We hear you. Stay where you are. Well, I guess you can't stop in traffic, but you're good right now.
All right, I'm gonna have to start one more time.
Let's be safe out there until you get to the sick spot.
Hello?
Like you very
Yes.
Yes,
clear.
sir. We hear you.
Can you
Go
hear
ahead.
us?
Yeah,
Can
yeah.
you hear
Yeah.
us? You can hear us?
Go ahead and unload.
Okay. My signal will trip out and come back and go out. Well, I know exactly what he's going through. I'm in those West Virginia mountains sometimes. I can't get nothing. I can hear y'all all day. Y'all can't hear me. Uh, and y'all can hear me. I can't hear y'all sometimes. But it's
That's
Black
what
Power Radio.
happens when you don't hear what
The one
Audre
I
Lorde
want y'all
said.
to know, the man that you're listening to is the spirit. He is the brain cell of Black Power Radio. He is the brain cell of the Million Youth March Rally. Oh, I wanted y'all to know that. A lot of people don't know that. Ooh. Don't underestimate your ability and your skill. Don't underestimate the solution power. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, no just barometer, no just estimation have you made of what we're doing with this divine power. No just estimation, I can assure you, by Allah. It's just amazing. The wisdom that he yield out to me. Why do we keep thinking that they sent the Donald the Duck truck? They sent Joe Biden in there. They even sent you a Camilla and a she camel, a she devil and a she wolf. And they said nobody helped the black people like me and you. Please. You are suffering from a strange dis-ease. Oh, yes, you are. Allah sent us somebody. But we got
A
to be bringing
disease
them up.
called America.
Yeah, with the 3Ks. That ain't no
Yes,
happy.
sir.
But brothers and sisters, believe me, the divine did not leave you out of the equation. Never think like that. That's stinking thinking. To think that God had created you with your beautiful physique and didn't leave you nothing and nobody to reach out when your time, your hour of trouble,
All
and ain't
right.
nobody come to help you. All
Am I
right, you
black?
right there. You are absolutely black. Absolutely black.
Man.
When black is under attack, We start the map. Go ahead. Black power. Black power. Assalamu alaikum. Black
They
power.
just kicked him out again. Uh,
Sound
Just
booted them out. Shit happens.
Shit. Hello?
This simple.
Try it one more time. You right there. Sit
yeah,
there and don't move
I'm
your mic.
off.
We
yes.
got you. Stay right there. Stay right there. You good. I'll show
Man,
you.
I'm gonna
Black power.
park my car. I'm
Black
finna park
power,
my
black
car.
power, black power.
I'm gonna
Black
park
Pull
my
power.
up,
car
pull up.
so
Black
I don't
power,
go in
man.
no zone. Black Power, can y'all hear me?
Loud and
Yes,
clear.
sir. Start your presentation while you park.
All right, so while all you conspiracy theorists, y'all might be right? Because normally I'm an anti-conspiracy theorist, but with all of these unidentified flying objects in the sky, and we might as well get down to it. The bottom line to it is, man, and Black Power to all of the loyal followers of Black Power Radio and the
Black power. Black power.
loyal friends of Sheikh Imam Akbar
Black
Bilal,
power.
and Black Power to all of the Black Panthers, and
Black
Black
power.
Power to Elder Mamoja Ajabu, who has been on, and Brother Dynamite Lightning, Sister Janae, and everybody else that's on this line. Man, I'm gonna get right to the point here. This is a great week and it's a great time, and there's some great things going on that I'm not even gonna get into on this radio line. But I want y'all to believe that there's some great things going on, and some great news is coming soon. That's all I got to tell y'all. That some great news is coming soon, and that We Are Family is not just a song by Sister Sledge and them. We Are Family is a reality, and I'm gonna tell this whole entire movement, the whole Black movement, that we do need a strong new Black Panther Party. I mean, we need a strong new Black Panther Party. Do y'all copy? Am I still on?
You're still
We right
on.
there with you, big brother.
Okay, all right. Thank y'all for
We
being
agree
patient.
with you. We also need a brand new righteous nation.
Well, that's true as well. That's true as well. And in order to bring about that nation, we have to have a strong party. You know what I mean? I have to say, honestly, y'all may not hear me say it all the time or post it all the time, but my heart is really with the new Black Panther Party. That's all I really know, man. Since I'm a follower of my chairman, Khalid Abdul Muhammad. That's the strongest thing I've seen in Black nationalism and some of the best times in my life. And so we have a host here who has and guests here who've given their entire lives to the struggle and the Black Panther struggle. Elder Mamoja Ajabu. This man is with Mike McGee, and Mike McGee is one of the original. Is the founder of the Black Panther Militia and one of the original persons who helped the Black Panther movement be rebirthed here starting in the 90s. He inspired the new Black Panther Party and Aaron Michaels and Khalid Muhammad and others way back in 89 and 90. I remember as an undergrad on Howard campus, Honorable Mike McGee. And so to have Mamoja Ajabu, one of his leaders from then, and has also been in the new Black Panther Party and continues the struggle. It's an honor. It's an honor to have a man here who's hosting this show, who has really been in this Black movement since the 1970s. Most of y'all ain't even born in the 70s. He's talking about 72, born in the 70s, and he's
Mic is down. Mic is down. Black power, y'all. We getting dead air. Dead air. One of the hosts pull in.
Yes, hello, hello. We
You can hear
here.
me in this spot?
Hear you,
Yes.
Truth Bay. Dead air again. Dead air. Fill it up. Fill it up.
All right. I'm gonna come back on the damn air again. Shit.
We hear you, Malik. Speak up.
Hello?
We hear you, Malik. Speak up. Go ahead.
Maybe that'll get me back in the zone. Am I back in the zone?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
sir,
Trying
you
to get
are.
back in the zone. Let me back in the zone. Hello?
We hear you. Speak up.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Am I back in the
You in.
zone?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Loud and clear. Loud and clear. Black Power.
I'm trying to get back in the zone.
You are there. Speak up. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's hard to get in the zone. You know this story.
You in it. You in it. Speak. 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 We with you. Black Power.
See, Tom, I learned that you could take a clock radio and put it by a cell phone. Let's see if it's true. Turn your clock radio on right quick. Just turn it on, the radio. Yeah. Let's see if it's true.
Now go even bigger with this.
Okay, hold on. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you,
I
Janae. Too
think
much
we
dead
need
air.
to. I
Right.
think we need
Move
to
forward.
conclude this episode of Black Power
Yes.
Radio because there's too many interruptions.
It ain't working.
Sabotage.
It's
Straight
not
sabotage.
working. Yeah.
We'll pick
Tell
up next
Dr.
Sunday.
Malik you'll pick up next Sunday, guys. Okay, I'm gonna end this stream.
Absolutely.
All
Have a
right, y'all
lovely
have a great
night.
night.
Nice
Thank
to
you all
meet
for
everybody.
joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Queen.
Thank you, Janelle.
Brother
Thank you,
Benjamin.
everybody.
All
Salute
power
to
to the
the
Chief
people.
priestess.
All
Elder
power
Shay,
to the people. Good
Melody,
night.
Brother Gilward.